Last time I've shown you how to make tape hair extensions, crafting base with a mesh lace, and this time I'd like to show you how to make tape hair extensions, crafting base with a sewing method. Tape hairs produced by a sewing method is much more secure, tough, durable, solid, and it's well made. We would be needing a baking paper and a scotch tape to stick the paper onto the table temporarily. And then for a full head, you may need about 5 ounces of hair. Usually each hair bundle is collected from different girls, so in order to make them look more natural on one head, we would be needing to blend them into a nice solid single ponytail. Also, please note, blondes might be slightly different to each other by their shades, textures, shapes, etc. Blending process is quite easy. Simply divide the ponytails into a smaller ponytails and then comb them and then place them on a separate table by spreading them, and make sure you put them on top of each other, widespread, like pancakes on top of each other, and then spray a bit of water, and it's pretty much the same thing over and over until you've got all your hairs spread wide and put on top of each other. Just do the same thing like you see it right here on the video. Blending is required to create a single unit ponytail from different ponytails, because you'll be having all kinds of ponytails. Some could be lighter in the color, some could be slightly darker in the color. And right here you see, and blending will help you to create one single beautiful looking single ponytail. So just spread them as much as you can. Blending usually does not take more than an hour. Just depends on the hair itself. If the hair is very close to each other by their colors and textures and shades, then it's gonna take much less than an hour. Remove excess hairs from the top by cutting them, and then start rolling it like you roll the yoga mat. Rolling is quite fun. Simply roll it as tight as possible. So when you're huckling it, when you're brushing it, it's going to be much easier, and you can hold them all together on one hand. So brushing them through large teeth hackle or a comb is much easier and preferred. That way you are detangling the hairs and removing those tiny short hairs hanging on the ponytail. And then a well blended hair needs to be sewn on the top part. So now it's time to sew the top part few inches below the roots, and we will be needing to create a belt or a band on the hair ponytail's top portion. The band is created easily, and it's just simply sewing the hair itself on the top portion and several times in order to create a nice, strong, tight, solid band on the hair ponytail itself. The thread on the belt shall match the hair ponytail color. So let's say you are sewing a black hair, then you would need to use black color thread, and for our blonde hair we obviously be using beige color thread. The sewn hair is gonna be pretty wide, so if you create a circle from the hair ponytail like you see on the screen, that makes your sewing job much easier. So your hair simply stays on the table, and then you will be simply sewing around the circle. And also note, this sewing process might take about an hour. So sit back, relax the process, enjoy it. So once you have created a band on the hair ponytail, then simply place the hair on the middle of baking paper that's attached on the table, and then you see and then as you see, stick some Scotch tape right under the below the band. So the glue is not gonna go through the below of the band to the hair itself. We don't want any glues to be licking down to the hair. So the Scotch tape would be a great help. And attach the Scotch tape on both sides of the hair, right under the belt, right under the belt or a band, how you call it, and then get ready for the gluing process. Finding the right glue is a huge headache for most stylists and some manufacturers also. Some people been spreading the myth that there's some kind of special glue is made specially for tape hair extensions, and you cannot be using any other glues other than those special ones which are sold at a very high price, and it's very hard to find them also. Well, it's 100% a myth. And this myth is gonna be busted now again. Once again, I've been telling this for many times, and then I'm gonna bust it again. This myth is busted. Once again. I'm sorry for those glue manufacturers, but the myth is busted. I have spoken to several chemists in this sphere who have been working for many years and been developing adhesives, glues for most companies. And they told me that once the glue is cured, the most strong and very toxic elements will be gone. So that glue unit is absolutely very safe. However, we would still need to find the right glue for the hair binding. The tape hair must be flexible, as you know, blendable, solid, slightly elastic, a bit stretchy, soft, not brittle, and not unadaptable. So the best place to look for such glue is a local shoe repair shop. Yes, exactly. They have the most well-suited glue for elastic flexible binding works. Try their glues and you will see that one of the resin glue is going to be great for your craft. The resin glue cures long hours very slowly, so spread the glue, right on the band for several times, and then flip the hair ponytail and do the same, spreading of the glue on the other side of the band for several times as well, and then leave it to dry for overnight. And please remember, you need a glue with properties like when it's cured, it does not become hard, and it should become bendable, a bit elastic, flexible. So if you ask your local shoe repairman, he will know exactly which glue to give you. He uses, such glue every day. He knows exactly which glue will be suitable for your craft work. Do not listen to those who create a myth about a special glue for special tape hairs. Hope now you will be able to find the right glue yourself, and please do not worry or do not look for any brand named glues, because you will be confusing yourself first and then others also if you look for a branded glue. Simply go to your local shoe repair shop and then ask for a glue which cures with much flexibility, and he will save you time and money for sure. Shoe repairman would never sell you a glue for tons of money. For example, the one I'm using now on the screen, I got it for $3, and it's about 10 ounces, and it's way enough for 3-4 full head tape extensions. The next morning, you would need to cut the unwanted top portion of the hair ponytail, then remove all those scotch tapes from the below the band. Removing scotch tape is pretty easy. Simply pull it out, and you see sometimes some hair is coming out with the scotch tape together. Don't worry about it. It's meant to be so, because sometimes you've got some hairs hanging below the band on the hair ponytail, so those hairs will be coming out with the scotch tape, and that's absolutely fine. There is no need to worry about it at all. And then get ready for cutting this wide hair ponytail into mini rectangles at any size you prefer. However, most stylists and most people do like sizes like 4:1 in centimeters, like 4 centimeters wide and 1 centimeter height. As I told you earlier, the size of these rectangles are preferred to be 4:1 in centimeters, usually from 22-inch long hair, and the weight of 5 ounces gives you about 50 mini rectangles. So And while you're cutting them into mini rectangles, be careful not to cut the hair itself. Once you've cut all those mini rectangles, and now, let's get ready to stick the double-sided sticky tape onto these mini rectangles. We prefer to use Walker tapes, very famous Walker tapes. These Walker tapes are sold online, and it is very easy to find them nowadays through Amazon or eBay, and also their own website. I believe it's walkertape.com. And you usually need a roll of 12 yards for 50 rectangles. And let me show you how to remove it. Let's say you've got Walker tape on the rectangle, and it's very easy to remove it. So pull out the tape itself and then pull out the glue layer which was left from the Walker tape. It's pretty easy to remove it. And sometimes you might also want to use some alcohol to ease the removal of that layer glue. And then that's it, you can reattach another Walker tape on this rectangle, and then it's reusable, so you can reuse it as many times as you like it. And there you go. Stick the Walker tapes onto our rectangles, then cut the edges, corners, to make our tape hairs look nicer. And you already know the preferred sizes, which is 4:1 in centimeters. And I really hope that this tutorial was very helpful in your hair business. And I thank you so much for watching this, and stay safe in such difficult times. Thank you.